So my name is Luci Willits. I'm running for Boise City Council, District 1. The reason I'm running is I've lived in this district for almost 2 decades. I love Boise. I think Boise is a great place to live, work, raise a family, and I want to keep it that way with more representation from our side of the city.
And tell me a little bit more about your campaign, the big issues you're focusing on, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think what makes me unique is the fact that I come from both a government and a private industry background. I know what it takes to earn a dollar, but I also know that policy levers make a big change in how we live and work, and there's no greater influence than local government. People always want to talk about what's happening at the federal level or even the state, but the fact is city government, county government is truly where the rubber meets the road. It's your sewer, it's your garbage, it's the roads you drive on, it's the livability, it's your ability to walk places, it's your ability to drive places. That is truly what makes a community livable. So I think I'm unique in that I bring both a government perspective and a private industry perspective. My campaign is focused on personal values. We live in a society that is pretty carping when it comes to politics right now. I mean, there's a lot of grumpiness and there's a lot of people who have strong opinions, and strong opinions are great, but we also need to be civil. So I come from a place of 3 key values. One is common sense, one is let me back up. I come from a place of 3 key values that are part of my DNA and what I want to share with the city. First and foremost is fiscal conservatism. I want to bring that perspective to the city council. Second of all is common sense decision making. And third is conversation. Because we live in a world right now where people are talking past each other. We're not really listening to each other, and we're not seeking to understand. And I'm here to understand. What makes this election so different is that it's historic. Previously, Boise City Council was elected citywide. So this area of Boise didn't have a dedicated representative. That's changing. We need a strong voice for West Boise. West Boise is different than any other part of Boise. We are a stone's throw from Meridian. We've got Eagle, and we are close to the freeway. It's a very different dynamic than some of those more enclosed neighborhoods and parts of Boise that may have the benefit of seeing the Capitol. We need someone like me who understands what it's like to live in West Boise, but also what it means from a policy perspective to ensure that our interests are well represented at Boise City Hall.
How long have you lived in West Boise?
Almost 20 years. Yeah, actually, okay, I need to do the math. We moved to West Boise in 2003. So close to 2 decades.
And tell me a little bit more about previous positions that you've held. Kind of expand on what you talked about the government experience and private.
Yeah, I worked for the federal government and the state government and policy work for close to 15 years. And then I transferred to private industry, which is very natural to me. I'm the daughter of a farmer who owned a small business. I know what it's like when you're the employer and you get paid last. Your employees come first. And I think that's a unique perspective because tax dollars are sacred in my opinion. When we spend taxpayer dollars, they come from somewhere else. They come from the community. So we need to be very diligent about what we're spending that money on. We need to be efficient and effective with those dollars. And I think knowing both sides of those worlds is really beneficial because so many folks don't. They might come from one side or the other. They don't bring the total package together, and I'm the total package when it comes to government and private industry experience.
I'm gonna adjust the shot real quick. Tell me why you decided to run for Boise City Council this year.
Yeah. First and foremost, I was super excited that we got the opportunity to have someone that was solely representative of West Boise. We've never had that before, and we need a strong voice, and I want to be that strong voice. The other thing that really drove me is an opportunity to serve. I adore this community. I've chosen to live, work, and raise my family here. And I think that with that comes the responsibility to give back. And third, I think it's important that we have, sorry, the cat. Oh, honey, come out of the shadows, honey. Come on. Meow. Yeah, she is a little burglar cat, so let me start over again.
No worries.
There was really 3 things that encouraged me and propelled me to run. One was this historic opportunity to have someone strong, rational, and with a different perspective on the Boise City Council. We have not had that in a long time. And to represent West Boise, and I want to be the voice of West Boise. Second of all, I've lived and worked and raised my family in this community. I know it well. I know what it's like to live here. I know what it's like to work here, and I know what it's also like to work downtown and having that different perspective. And the third is, I think people are craving strong, rational, common sense governing. I think if we've seen anything in the last couple years is that matters, and we need people who are willing to step up. It's a really intense environment right now, but we need to have people who have courage, to have big ideas, who can be bold, who can also make tough decisions, and that's the person I am.
Can you expand a little bit more on what you said about having a different perspective?
Yeah, one of the things that's changed about Boise City Council is it used to be at large. Not only is our mayor elected at large, but also Boise City Council. And that actually made it so the elections ended up where most people lived within a couple miles of each other. And that's inherent bias that's different than someone who lives in the suburbs like I do, that can't ride their bike or walk to work. So that perspective is really valuable. We need lots of different opinions of the City Council. We also need someone with an eye to fiscal conservatism, somebody who's looking out for the taxpayer. There's a lot of issues at Boise City that need to be addressed, but fiscal conservatism is a new perspective that we need to bring to the City Council that I don't think has been a priority for some.
Yeah, just a shot again real quick here. Tell me a little bit more about what you see as the big issues.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, Boise is the hip place to come live. Everybody wants to move to Boise, and our growth is phenomenal. I mean, we've been the fastest growing city in America. Our real estate prices reflect that. So we have a lot of challenges, but we also have a lot of opportunities. People are moving here because they want to live here, because we have a livable city that's clean, that's safe, that we care about one another. We need to keep that. So that feeds into my issues. One is public safety. We have to ensure that our public safety, police and fire remain well funded and strong. We also need to look at bigger solutions when it comes to transportation. People are coming here and they're going to continue to come here. And what does that mean for how we get people to and from downtown Boise? Third is, with a rapid population, you also have homelessness. People don't like to see homeless camps. If you've gone to our sister cities of Portland and Seattle, it's really disturbing. It's disturbing from an economic perspective, but it's also disturbing from a humanity perspective, the suffering that we see. And I want to make it a focus to end family homelessness in the city of Boise. People need to feel that they can come to Boise and that they don't see homeless camps or others that are suffering in our downtown. And then fourth, frankly, is we need a shot in the arm when it comes to community and patriotism. You know, when I was a kid, the thing that I would do most often every 4th of July, and I grew up in rural Idaho, is drive 5 miles, we'd go to the parade. There was more horses and bikes than there were people in the actual parade route. And it solidified a community spirit. We don't have a 4th of July parade in the city of Boise. Boise is the capital city. We see the Capitol at the end of the boulevard, and we're not celebrating what it means to be an Idahoan. And I want to be a point person on the council to help get volunteers to bring that back.
And looking back at homelessness, you said you want to end family homelessness. What would you do to accomplish that?
Well, we're in a great spot because we've had a lot of community discussion. First and foremost, I want to be the voice of that on the council. We need someone who is focused on that, and I would like to be that person. There's been a group of folks that have looked at it. You know, there's lots of different kinds of homelessness. There's our veterans who are experiencing homelessness. There's families with rising rent that, you know, if your rent jacks up $500 a month, what do you do? And then there's those who are chronically homeless. I think there's different solutions for different folks, and I want to ensure that Boise has a menu of things that we can ensure that are available to those who are in need. Because we want to take care of our community, but we also have an economic piece to this, because people want to feel like when they go downtown that there isn't suffering and that people have a place.
And kind of related to that, the housing crisis that we're experiencing, what would you do to solve that?
Well, I think it's really difficult to solve. I think a lot of people are throwing their hands up and saying, how do you? First and foremost, we have to stick to free market principles. The reason we have a housing crisis is that people are moving here and there's not enough housing. And I think it's really important that we work with free market principles versus the government coming in and artificially propping up markets. So I will always look at things at the City Council from a free market perspective, and I'm open to ideas. I think that's the critical issue. Is I don't know that there's a lot of answers out there other than supply and demand, and we need to ensure that we get supply up while maintaining open space, while maintaining livability. And that really is a metro issue. It's not just a Boise issue. We are a metro community. In West Boise, we often shop a Meridian. We go to dinner in Eagle. We go downtown for work or for social events. This is a regional issue. It's not solely within the city of Boise, but I want to do my part for the city of Boise.
You mentioned open space. I think that's a big issue that's kind of come about, the balance between having enough housing but maintaining open space. Can you expand on your thoughts on that a little bit more?
Well, it absolutely is a balance. What we don't want to create is an environment where people feel like they're stacked together. We need medium density, but we also need to make sure that we're flexible. There are cases where it makes a lot of sense to have more housing, more choices for folks, more opportunities for houses that don't cost as much because they have a different footprint than another home. But we can't let that be our sole mantra. We have to have common sense about it. We have to look at each situation individually. What I do know is people love their parks, they love the foothills, but they also love their neighborhood parks. And one of the reasons I moved to this neighborhood is because I wanted a neighborhood park where I could go with my friends, with my family, and where I could walk. And if you go around this neighborhood, people are walking all the time. That's an important piece. You know, Idaho has great weather in Boise. Actually, let me back up because that didn't sound quite right. One of the things that people love about where they live is often walkability. I moved to this neighborhood because I liked the park. I liked the ability that I could walk around my neighborhood, make friends with my neighbor, give that friendly hello. So there's got to be a balance, but I think having a hard and fast rule for every piece of development isn't something that is logical. You have to take each situation on its own, and you have to give people choices. There's times where medium density makes more sense, but there's also times where it doesn't. And if we are so strident in our views on that, I think we're going to miss opportunities to give people choices, and people want choices. When they buy a home, they're not just buying walls, they're not just buying a roof over their head, they're buying a community. They're settling themselves where they get to have neighbors and different interactions with folks. And we need to maintain that. We need to maintain that sort of variety in the places that are available in Boise.
Anything else to add? Anything I didn't ask about?
You know, I know that you're doing a lot of these. I think what makes this race so unique in all the races is the opportunity to have a dedicated representative in the city of Boise. In West Boise, because of our dynamics geographically, I think sometimes people forget that we're part of Boise, and I want to make sure that they remember that West Boise is part of Boise. We have a voice in what happens here. We like to live here. We love living in Boise, and we need that voice at the City Council. We need someone strong, we need someone direct, and we need someone with common sense. And that's why I'm running.
Great.
Anything else? What, Ruth, what else? You know me. What else did you say?
Transportation, how you're going to handle the road system.
Yeah, okay, let's talk a little bit about transportation.
Because everybody complains about the traffic. I mean, I'm from Chicago. This traffic here is great.
Yeah, right. It's all perspective, right?
So it's all perspective. But
yeah. One of the things that makes the Treasure Valley so unique, and particularly Ada County, is that we have an Ada County Highway District that owns all the roads in the county. So Boise really only owns 2 roads. So we don't have a lot of opportunity there other than to communicate, to collaborate, and as we approve different developments, ensuring that ACHD is involved, that there's a plan. I think oftentimes people complain because new developments go in and the roads can't handle it. We need to be hand in glove with ACHD, and I'm fully intend to do that. This is a community issue. We're very mobile in this community. You drive to Canyon County, you drive to downtown Boise. Let's recognize that. I'm also not afraid to bring solutions to the table. I have a long history of policy in my background. I like big ideas. I like saying what is possible and let's try it. And I think people want that from local government. They don't want stagnation. They want innovation, and that's what I want to do, is innovate. And at the same time as we do that, we need to ensure that the community is comfortable with those solutions because they're paying the bill.
And kind of going off of that, and I think it was when we were talking about housing, you mentioned that this is, you know, not just Boise, Meridian, other towns in our area are having the same issue.
Oh yeah.
Would you, do you have the goal and plan of trying to work with the other local governments to kind of all come together and solve?
Absolutely. I think we need to let me back up. Absolutely. I think we need to continue to recognize that we live in the Treasure Valley. While I will represent West Boise as my #1 priority, I also need to ensure that I'm talking to Meridian, that I'm talking to Eagle, that I'm talking to Kuna, because we're all in this together in Ada County. And that's an important piece. We have to have collaboration, because when we have collaboration, we can ensure that taxpayer dollars are spent efficiently and effectively. That needs to be our #1 goal, is to ensure that we're not duplicating, because we are a valley and we're all in this together.